Hi everyone, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft and I'm back with another video. And today the heat is unbelievable here in the UK. It is so humid and stuffy, so just bear with us on this video. Right, so don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing and also giving us a like, and make sure you click the bell notification to all so you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video. So today I've got 5 ways to use up paper scraps. Now the first one, we're actually going to make a card today. Now this was just the first one I did to test if it worked, and I think that turned out really pretty. And all it is you need some little paper scraps which measure 1 inch by 1.5 inch, and then you just cut them into a little banner. Now I used a circle die just to draw around to make sure I get a circle. So you could make these for any time of year. Today we're going to do a Christmas one, which I thought would be a really nice idea. So it's just going to go straight onto the card front. So I've got my little scraps here. I've probably got too many, and I'll just quickly show you. I'm sure you know exactly how to do them, but you just want to cut up the middle and then just cut the little corners up to the top, and you end up with your little banners. So I would say you would need, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 12 little banners. The circle dies that I used are 3¼ inches, and the next size down for me was 3 inches. So I'm going to cut these out and I'll be back. Alright, I've cut them out now. Sorry, I told a little lie. Well, I didn't. I decided to back it onto some red card, the same as this card here. I just thought it would look a bit better. So taking the smaller die, basically I just sort of eyeballed the middle and then just draw around it with a pencil. And it's just a guide, so you know you're actually making it a wreath shape, otherwise it would end up goodness knows what shape. And all you're going to do is really just glue your little banners just like this. So I'll do a couple just sort of on the little pencil line. You can overlap them a little bit. And just keep going all around until you get back to the beginning. Alright, so I've stuck them on. Now the reason I've cut another circle from the same smaller die, because I want to stamp a sentiment on there. And also when you come to put this on, like you can see here, I have little bits of the paper shown, and we don't want to see that, but don't worry about it, because if you do, that's why I've cut that, so it hides everything. And then also it saves you messing up if you try to stamp your sentiments straight on there. So I've got one from Penny Black. The sweetest moments of the season are the times we share, but you can use anything. You might even want to put die cuts inside, whatever you want to do. So I'll just stamp this sentiment. Go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this little bit round. And that will go over there, so it will hide any of the, you know, scrappy little bits that we can see. And really all I've used is, just check I've got this the right way, because I cut the card to 5 7/8. It doesn't matter, I'm confusing you, but one side's slightly off than the other, which it's okay. So isn't that so easy and pretty to do? And then I'm gonna just glue this onto the card. You could put this up with foam pads actually if you want to. And then inside, I just used the same little scraps, and I just cut a couple more of these little banners, and I'm just going to put them on the inside like that. There we go, and there was just the example one that I made, so that you can see you could do it for, you know, any time of the year, really, any occasion. So we'll move on to another one. Alright everyone, the next one. Now you probably noticed the first clip was recorded at the weekend when it was just so hot and I couldn't continue. That's why there was no video on Sunday. It was baking. Just so humid, I just could not carry on with making the video. So I made some of these beautiful rosettes on Sunday, and I shared them in my Facebook group, and quite a few people have asked us how I made these. Now I know everyone, well, most people know how to make rosettes, and I wasn't keen on doing it because I just don't think a lot of people are interested, but I've decided to include it in this video because they're really easy to do. And as you can see, I'm so happy with how these turned out. Now these are intended to hang on the Christmas tree, so they are beautiful, and I've hung little charms on them and they're all neat and tidy on the back. And I also made a couple of Halloween ones as well. Again, I've hung some little charms on them. Again, they're all tidy on the back. So we're going to make another Christmas one. Now all you need is, I'm going to have 2 layers again, like I have with these. So the biggest layer, the first one, needs to be 2 inches, and mine happens to be 12 inches in length. But this one, I'm probably going to cut this down to about, I don't know, maybe it's 4 or 5 inches, because I don't need both of them or it'll just be too big. The piece I'm going to layer on the top is vellum, and this is 1.5 inches by 12, and that piece will do exactly. I've just cut a a couple of circles out from a 2-inch circle punch. That's just to seal it on the back, and then that's to cover the ribbon. And then this little one will be for the smaller vellum piece, and then we'll decorate the front after that. So I used a combination of border dies and also border punches, sorry. So that was a border die and this one is a punch. So either work just as well. And I haven't got my punch ready actually, so I think I'm just going to use this one again. And you obviously only need to do one side of the punch. Now if the paper is directional, you'll need to bear that in mind, but this doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to punch this. Okay, so as you can see, I've done it, and this one, yeah, about 5 inches. So I'm going to just cut that to the end of there. Okay, and basically I'm just going to score at every 1/4 of an inch, and how I do it is I just have the punch bit along the bottom and just every 1/4 of an inch. Then it's just a case of sort of, you know, accordion folding them. So I'm sure you know how to do that, just back and forth until they are all folded. So I will get on with this and I will be back when they're all done. Alright, so that is them folded. Now I'm going to join this one together just by gluing that on top of there like that. Now I used to use hot glue guns for rosettes, and I actually don't now because I thought you needed them, but you don't really. It does take obviously a little bit longer to dry and stuff, but I prefer it because obviously you burn yourself quite a lot. Well, I used to anyway. And then I'm going to glue this one over here. Right. Okay, so we want to glue the back together. So I've got one of the circles and I'm just going to cover it in glue. So close it down and press it together. And then just hold that for, you know, maybe a minute or so. There we go, that's that done. And then I'm going to take the vellum and I'm just going to glue this piece straight together. And just do exactly the same, but this time we're going to use the smaller circle. There we go, and then basically we are going to glue this one on to here. There we go, it's that easy. And then you can do your ribbon now if you want. So I just take a bit of ribbon and then I want it somewhere like that. So I think I will just trim it down to there because it's probably a bit too long. Yeah, that would do. And I use fabric tack glue for that. This glue is brilliant. So I'm just going to turn it over and just pop some glue down. Okay, and then what I do as well is just to stop that flopping, I also put a bit of glue up the top here, so just roughly where the ribbon's going to catch. Yeah, that's about right. And just hold that for a little bit and that will stop it from flopping around. There we go, and then I can just, I think that's pretty even. And I might just take a little bit off here. And then the decorating, I'm just going to grab a little die, I'll be back. So I've just took a little sort of circle die and then I've just punched out a little white circle. And I am going to glue this on top of here. Hey Oscar. There we go. And then decoration wise, I have just got some little sort of die cuts here, ephemera. What I do is I purchase the little files from Etsy and I just sit and fussy cut them all out because I do really like fussy cutting, and you know, they turn out brilliant. That's what I've used on all of them. So actually I might have this little post box image. I could just put that there. And then I also have little sentiments that I've just fussy cut out as well. And you can just put one of them across or whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you, but they are really simple to make. I'm just going to cut that white off actually. And then I normally stick these up with foam pads. Just some enamel dots. I do have quite a few of these on my website as well if you are looking for some. I wanted a smaller silver and gold, but I don't have any. Or green. Do I have green? Not the right colour green. Have to use silver. I mean, you don't have to put any of them on if you don't want to, but I just think it adds, you know, like a little bit extra, makes it look a bit more, you know, festive and stuff like that. So I've got them on there. And then I just take a little charm, which I have these as well on my site, and I just, what I do is I just put a little lobster claw and a little jump ring. So I just put the little charm on, then the little lobster claw, just close that off. And then as the border punch has got little holes in, I just pop it through one of the little holes, wherever you want really. Put it through this one. There we go. That's how I make them. And then I've got a couple of Halloween ones as well. So you only really need, you know, a couple of strips of paper. I'm sure you have some like offcuts of it. As I said, I probably will need to be a little bit of a bigger scrap, but nevertheless you can, if you have a couple of, you know, sort of long pieces, you can make them with them. So we'll move on to another one. Sorry, I actually forgot to do the back. So the spare circle, just glue that straight over the ribbon on the back, and that will cover it and make it all lovely and tidy. So let's get on to another one. Alright, so the next one I had was just a sort of idea. So I've just took some scraps and I've just cut some random little size circles from the scraps. And I've got a piece of craft card here, because what I was going to do was I'm going to place these circles sort of randomly on the design, on the card, sorry. Probably just something like that. Just a little random design. Okay, and what I've got is I've got these script stamps. These are Tim Holtz, but you can use anything. This one you can use it both ways actually, because the text is on, you know, vertical and horizontal. So I'm going to use this horizontal, and what I'm going to do is just, now I might have to position them again because they might sort of lift up with the stamp, but I'm going to put the stamp about there and pick it up. Oh no, I haven't moved much actually. And then I'm going to stamp like over the whole thing. And I'm just going to use some black VersaFine. And just stamp, that's going to catch the magnet. So is that, I think. There we go. Oh, I wondered what happened there. It had still stuck to the stamp. Yeah, and then because what I was going to do was I was going to put some of them up on foam pads and see how this works. I mean, you could put them all up if you wanted to, but I just thought it was, I don't know, just sort of a nice way to use up scraps, and you know, it makes them sort of more interesting, doesn't it? And it doesn't much to matter if you don't get them right back in the right place, because it's a script stamp really. I don't really think anybody would notice the difference, if I'm honest. There, like I say, you could put them all up if you wanted to, but I don't know, I think I might just leave those 3 flat, glue them ones down, and then I'm also gonna do some like ink splatters on it. So I suppose this one might be, well, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit sort of vintagey type. There we go. So I'm just going to get some paint and a sentiment and I'll be back. So I've just put a little bit of distress paint in, way too much at the bottle. I meant to, well, I didn't mean to put that much in, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to put a few around the card. I think that looks really nice, just for a stamp and a few little scrap bits of paper. So I'll quickly get a sentiment while that dries. Alright, there we go. Now all I did, put a couple of little dewdrops on. I think I put 5. A little sentiment, just a note, put it onto the card base, and that's it. And really it was just a few bits of scraps and a stamp, and I think that's actually really pretty. So yeah, give it a go. I mean, it could be any stamp, you could use any shapes of paper, whatever you want. But yes, I like that. So we'll move on to another one. Alright everyone, so for this next one, this is another really simple one. I've just cut probably about 20 little squares from scraps, and I've used a square die, and the square die happens to be 1.5 inches, okay, and I've got a piece of sort of card here. It's not very thick, and I'm going to cover it in some double-sided tape, adhesive, whatever, and I'm going to take this tag just so I know that it's going to fit on there. So I'm going to cover this in tape first, okay, just so I know that that's going to fit on there. And then I'm going to peel some of the backing off. Now you don't have to peel it all off, just peel what you're working on, just to stop bits getting stuck to it and whatnot. And then I'm basically just going to stick these in just on randomly, like a sort of patchwork. There we go. And now I can take my tag and I can basically just die cut that out. There we go. You have a beautiful little sort of Christmas patchwork, except don't do that, make sure you cut it right. I've obviously cut it where I've overstuck the paper, but you get what I mean. That makes a beautiful little tag, but you could cut them in any shape, circles, make like maybe these little present toppers, and you can decorate them up. So yes, that is another great way to use up scraps. So we'll move on to the last one. Alright, so the last one, I thought we could make like a little decoration. So what I've done is I've just took a couple of circle dies and I've cut it out, then cut another smaller one out the middle. And I've done about 4 of these in a sort of thickish cardstock. And I'm going to glue them all together. And then if you take some paper, which is about 1 inch by 3.5, just fold it in the middle and then cut it like into a little flag. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way around. Now you'll have to overlap them so that you're not seeing, you know, bits of your card through, and just keep going all the way around, gluing them on. So I'm going to do that, and now we need to, I'll come back when it's nearly done, because we're going to attach some twine or something to the top. So just 4 of them, and I'll give you an idea of the size of the circles. So the biggest is 3.5 inches, and then the little one is 2.25 inches. So I'm going to glue them together and then just start putting some of these little flags on. Alright, so I have stuck all of them on, and there's a gap at the top. So I've got some of this gold thread, and basically it's far too much that I've cut, but this is going to be to hang it on our tree or wherever you want to hang it. Just tie it in a knot. Sorry, it's my dog, Oscar. And then, so we've got that, and to hide this bit, I've just made a little bow that I'm going to glue on here. So I will get some fabric tack, I think. That works really well. There we go, isn't that so cute? And you can hang them on your tree, hang them wherever you want, if I'm honest, it's entirely up to you. You could actually wrap the bit of ribbon around there first, which is what I should have done, just so you can't see that bit in the back. But yeah, you only need a few, you know, just scraps of paper, and that is so cute. You can make them any size, if I'm honest, just whatever size circles you want to cut. So let's have a look at what we've done. So we've got our cute little sort of paper wreath, got our card, beautiful another Christmas tree decoration. I love this actually, this might be my favourite. And then I put some little bits on that tag as well, and really just using the majority of scraps. So I hope you like it. I'll have the details on my blog. I'll be back again on Sunday with another video. So take care, thanks for watching, and bye for now.